Well, what is the fate and future of Gambit? Well, based on what Ryan Reynolds dropped earlier today, we know the character made it out of the void, and now he's moving forward to greater things. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about the clip that Ryan Reynolds dropped on social media, what it means for Channing Tatum's Gambit, and when we're likely to see the character again. I don't think it's going to be that long. Well, if you haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet, this is a bit of a spoilerish video, but the movie's been out so long and the secrets have been revealed, I don't really feel like we're ruining anything for anybody that hasn't had a chance. Now, as many of you know, Channing Tatum was lined up to play Gambit for many years, but eventually when Disney acquired 20th Century Fox, the role fell through, and actually the actor was a bit devastated at the loss. Now, when Deadpool and Wolverine started spinning up, Ryan Reynolds apparently brought Channing Tatum back to play Remy LeBeau in The Void, and the character was a key part of that resistance along with Elektra, Blade, and X-23, and actually had a bigger part in the movie than anybody expected. Now, what's interesting is earlier today, Ryan Reynolds shared a deleted scene, and this film strongly hinted that Gambit made its way out of the void and to, well, greater things. Now, when you watch the clip, you can see the orange light shining behind Gambit, and when he turns around, if you pause it, you can actually see one of those, quote, Marvel sparkle circles reflecting in his eyes. So what's this all mean for the future of Gambit? Well, as many of you know, this new version of Wolverine joined Deadpool in his previous world. This was the world the X-Men existed on. And if I'm taking any bets, that's where we should start looking. Now, we know at the end of the movie, X-23 came there, so there is absolutely no reason to think that the Raging Cajun didn't make his way to Earth 10,005. Now, as far as moving forward, I think the fan response to Channing Tatum playing the character is going to be the key driving force, and overall, it's been pretty positive. Now, where he appears in the MCU next, I think that's going to be the big question, and although I don't think it's going to be in the next year or so, I definitely think the character's coming back. Now, moving forward, we're clearly headed into Secret Wars, and we speculated multiple times on this channel, with Robert Downey Jr. taking up the role of Doctor Doom and coming to life in Avengers Doomsday, we're going to see the combination of several of these worlds. Now, if I'm taking any bets, there's going to be some outliers, but most of these characters are going to come from the MCU's 616, along with Earth 10,005, which is where Deadpool and Wolverine currently reside, and probably Gambit along with the rest of the X-Men. We're probably going to see some of Sony's Spider-Worlds, along with whatever universe the Fantastic Four inhabits. So this is going to be quite the mashup of characters. And within that construct, that's most likely where we'll see Gambit again. Now, I don't know if Channing Tatum's version of Gambit will be the staple MCU Gambit moving forward, but I do think a lot of these legacy Fox characters, particularly mutant characters, will indeed be part of Secret Wars moving forward, and Tatum fits in perfectly with that group. Although I do believe many of them will be recast after the event. Now, honestly, I kind of like the guy as the character, and his love and dedication to the role carries a lot of weight for me. He worked super hard to bring Gambit to life for years, and was absolutely devastated when the role fell through during the acquisition. Well, honestly, him getting the chance to bring the character back again in future MCU installments seems like a well-earned privilege. Now, whether this Earth 10,005 is the same one we saw in that Marvel's post-credit scene with Beast and Monica and Maria Rambeau, he made specific mention of Professor X, so that very well could be that same universe. It was Kelsey Grammer voicing the character who voiced Beast in the classic X-Men films, and it feels like at this point, that will be the world that sets up part of this major Secret Wars conflict. Bringing Gambit to life is something that's way overdue. I actually hope Marvel kind of takes this character and runs. I would love to see Channing Tatum maybe get a solo movie, but more interestingly, the history of Gambit and the cartoon series just touched the tip of the iceberg, so this could be a character Marvel does a lot with, and I would not be surprised to see him get either his own series or solo film in the near future, but we're gonna have to wait and see.